Welcome, 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 welcome to Put It All on Red. I'm Roberta the Tool Lady, uh, and I have a phenomenal show for you tonight with a phenomenal guest. Tonight we're going to be talking about daddy issues, and I'm just wanting to welcome you back. It's good that for all the ones that are listening, all of the ones that come back and listen again, you really appreciate it here on Put It All on Red podcast. And I'm going to let my phenomenal guest introduce herself. Uh, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, Catherine.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Catherine B. Mitchell, the one and only. I am a phenomenal author, a coach, in the world. That's how I like to introduce myself. And this is my topic. I love to talk about daddy issues because we deal with that um, on a daily, pretty much.
Okay. And Catherine, could you tell them this? I know you're a phenomenal author. I know we're going to talk about daddy issues tonight, but could you tell them like how to find you? Like once our program is over tonight, how can people who say like, "Ooh, I like what she's all about," or "I need that information"? Because on Put It All on Red and me being the tool lady, I like to provide tools. Every time people spend time with us on this show or spend time with me, I like to think that I'm offering something to them. And I believe you got wonderful hands on tools for our audience. So, how can they follow you? How can they find you?
They can follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, CatherineBMitchell.com. I mean, Catherine B. Mitchell. That's it. On TikTok is only Catherine B. Mitchell. And
Okay.
they can also go to my website too as well at www.catherinebmitchell.com.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Hi, C Money. Welcome to the live. I think we're having some connection issues.
Catherine, while we're waiting on Roberta, can you tell everybody where you're from? And are you local? Are you in the Dallas area?
I am in the Dallas area. I am in Dallas, Texas. I've been born and raised here my entire life. My mother was born in Longview, Texas. My daddy was born and raised in Palestine, Texas. Arkansas, Texas. I take that back. He was born in Arkansas, but he was raised in Palestine.
Amazing. So, Roberta, she did mention about your book. Is this something that the audience, when you get a chance, you can drop the link? Is this something that they can purchase online? Is this something that, are you an author and you're working on something? Or tell us a little bit about that.
So I am an author of many books. So I am an author of my own, my I self-published my first book, and that's titled A Transformed Survivor. That book talks about my 12-year abusive relationship with my daughter, with my youngest daughter father. And I'm just giving some self-help tools and tips and things, red flags to look out for, and then why I'm sharing my story of what I went through, some of the things I went through in that abusive relationship. And then I did 4 anthology books. One is the Queendom Diary. That is an amazing. That's my first actual becoming an author. The first time of me becoming an author is with the
Okay.
Queendom Diary. I do have them with me too, by the way. Um, and that book entitles The Younger Me, writing letters to your younger self. about the things that you went through. So I wrote about a lot of things that I went through as a child. Typically, because sometimes we kind of keep those things hidden, and it does affect us in the long run. So, and then I have, let me see, I got to think, the Mosaic Woman. That's the last book that I just did. Fragments of a Mosaic Woman. I basically talked about um, being molested. I talked about the way how I was raised in a single family home, and things of that nature, relationships. So that book kind of entails of how I was broken and how I end up bringing myself out of a situation. Well, not me, but God, of course. But it talks about my heartbreaks and some trials and tribulations that I went through, and then Truth or Dare, I basically told about how I was sexually molested by my uncle, and basically my family didn't do anything about family secrets. Family keeps a lot of secrets hidden under the rug, and then nobody likes to talk about them. And then when you become the one that openly speaks up about it, um, they tend to look at you as if you the problem, you are the issue, you want to tell our business. So I talk about those things in my books. Like everything that I've wrote about has been about my childhood, my adulthood, family issues, all of those things. Like I laid everything out on the table. I ain't hiding nothing, because that's how you break those cycles. And I don't want my daughters to experience any of those things that I went through. I want to break that cycle. So if they feel like they've gone through something, if I've done something to them, hey, I want them to lay it out on the table so we can work through it. We're not gonna hide it. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. It's laid out on the table. So I'm breaking those cycles, and that's what my books are about: breaking cycles and speaking up and talking about the things that we've gone through as a child, as a parent, as a daughter, as a sister. I laid it out on the table. I'm not hiding anything, and I don't care who like it. And a lot of people come up to me afterwards and be like, "How could you do that? You wasn't worried about your family." Like, no, I wasn't. It's not about them. It's about me and the next generation that comes after me.
That's awesome. I appreciate you and also the producer as well, Miss Keisha, for
I
jumping
can't
in.
hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay. I said I appreciate you and Miss Keisha for jumping in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can. I
Oh,
can't hear what she say.
okay.
She's just giving appreciation.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay. And what I wanted to say was this month being mental health month, what does that mean to you?
She wants to know what mental health means to you for this month.
Oh, wow. Whew. Um, hmm. To me, mental health, it means to me, um, taking care of yourself mentally, um, because mental health can play a huge role in your behavior, the way that you respond to people, the way that you treat people, um, and without getting the help that you need, it can affect you too at the same time, and people that's around you. And so I'm close to mental health because I during an abusive relationship mentally, I was, if I can be honest, I wasn't sometimes myself. I really wasn't. I wasn't myself because I couldn't understand, for one, how did I end up in this situation? Because I grew up in the hood. I grew up in South Dallas. I grew up in the hood. So I never saw myself being in abusive relationship. And so mentally I was unstable and some days because I couldn't figure out how I end up in this position, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. Um, and I did attempt um, on several occasions to take my own life, um, because in my mind I was like, I dare if somebody take my life. Let me take my own life so they don't have to. That was in my mind. And mentally, you think about those things. You get depressed, you get sad. Um, and without God, too, of course, I didn't have God in my life at that time, but I knew of God. I didn't have a close relationship, but I did have conversations with God. but I did not know God the way that I know Him now. I have a personal relationship than I did
Yeah.
before. So, mental health is so important to people in our families, and if you just pay close attention to people, sometimes those signs are there. We just have to pay attention. But because we're so busy and occupied with life and trying to get to the bag, we're not really paying attention to our kids. Our kids are crying out for help, and if you don't notice, today in these days and times, they're crying out for help. They're not bad. They just crying out for help because they need some adults to really take them under their wing, to really listen to them. And mentally, when they don't get it, that's when they become, they have those thoughts in their head. Suicide thoughts is real. I'm listening. I have to listen to my daughter when she told me one particular time she wasn't feeling good, and I had to catch on to that. And for days, I watched her just lay around the house, and I was like, no, that don't feel right. Something just don't seem right. So I had to have a conversation with her, and she just told me a few days later she was mentally unstable. So if we have to pay attention to our children. We have to be their support. We have to be their rock. We have to know that when something is wrong, we have to know how to help them to get through that by all means necessary. So mental health for me, it runs so deep in my heart that I'm all in for mental health because I know what it feels like to have a mental breakdown. I know what it feels like to be depressed. I know what it feels like when you feel like you by yourself. I know what it feels like when you feel like you ain't got nothing to lose. And I feel like I ain't have nothing to lose in that abusive relationship, but just gone and end my life. I'm better off dead than I am alive because if I'm alive, he's still going to abuse me. Not, I wasn't thinking anything else but to just leave. That was the only way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that you said mental health doesn't have a face on it. Mental health does not have a face. I don't think she can hear me. Why she can't
Exit
hear?
out, Roberta, and come back in. Maybe
Oh,
it's the
okay.
mic. Exit out and just come back in. She's gonna
Okay.
exit out, and
Okay.
then Catherine, we'll see if you can
I
She
can
get
can,
her
hear.
when she comes back in.
and she can
Okay.
answer that. Why the fact that mental health doesn't have a face on it.
She's speaking on mental health that does not have a face on it. She's gonna exit out and come back in, but that's kind of like what she's wanting to kind of get your insight on because she said it does not have a face. Mental health.
Oh man, heck no, it don't have a face. Um, it comes in all shapes, forms, and fashion. It doesn't have a face. You don't sometimes know what it looks like. You just really have to pay attention on some signs and some behaviors. You just have to be real focused and be intentional by paying attention.
Agreed.
Okay, can you hear me now, Catherine?
She can't hear you,
Well, what is going on tonight? This is
Yeah, I still can't hear.
but I can hear you.
Okay.
okay. So she answered that it does not have a face on it.
Yes.
Okay. Um, and then ask her for tips that she would have for someone today. If they were in a stressed mood or they've experienced something that they can't handle mentally, what should they do?
Do you have any tips that you could provide for anyone, Catherine, on someone that may be experiencing that?
Yeah. The first thing that I would tell somebody is to go get help. Um, and don't be ashamed or embarrassed if you're feeling depressed, if you feeling like you're not in your right state of mind. Go get some help. Go talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that you can trust. I always say go to God first because God will lead you to the right person who you can talk to in the instant of your mental health. God number one, therapy, counseling, somebody you can trust. Don't feel like you're alone because you're not. There's so many people worldwide that battles with mental health. Like for real, you're not by yourself. But go get help. Do whatever you can to get back to your state of mindset of happiness and joy and peace. I'll leave that by going and get help. That's your best thing that you can do, not just for yourself, but think about your kids, think about your grandkids, think about your sister, just think about your family who truly care about you, who truly have your best interests, and who want to see you win. Nobody want to see you lose. Nobody wants to see their family member lose. We all here to help encourage one another and to lift each other up. We're all here to do that as brothers and sisters in Christ, or as a mom, as a dad, or a sister. We're here to help each other grow and to mature and to be who God called us to be. Go get help. It's it's out there. We have more help now than we have ever had back in the day. Back in the day, people didn't talk about mental health as where the way that they're talking about it now. Like it's becoming more aware. So there's all kind of resources. Go get it. Take advantage of it.
Yes, and include the promise of just holding on one more day. There's a promise of just holding on for one day, one more day, and promising it to a family member, or a friend. If you're at that point until you can get help, I promise one more time, one more day, that I won't hurt myself. That means a whole lot, because things can always change, and you should be encouraged that it can if you are suicidal. Now, could you ask Catherine to break down the daddy issues?
Catherine, she wants you to go ahead and break down the daddy issues.
Oh, wow. Daddy issues. Um, I didn't know anything about daddy issues. After leaving my daughter's father, after being abused for 12 years, when I began to start working on myself, that was the first thing that I was focused on to try to see what was going on with me. Why was I repeating these cycles? Why did I even settle for this relationship in the first place? I was just doing all of those things, just reflecting. And that was the first thing that hit me. And I believe that it was nobody but the Holy Spirit said, you have daddy issues. And I never knew what it was. And I just began to start doing research. And I came across this article, and this lady, she was just talking about the things that she experienced, and everything that she was talking about. Um, that was me. Everything that she said about herself, everything that she went through, that was an aha moment. Say, that is me. And so the thing that I can say is daddy issues. Daddy issues is like not having that bond with the father, not having a father figure in your life, because dad is supposed to show us what love looks like, what healthy love looks like. They're supposed to be our first love, and when we don't get it, you feel abandoned, rejected, not loved, not good enough. And then we start looking for love in all the wrong places. That is why it led me to the streets. It led me to having sex at an early age. It had me doing things that I didn't have no business doing at a very early age. Um, 13, I was hanging out with grown people. I didn't even have no business hanging out with grown people. I was smoking weed. I was skipping school. I was doing all kind of things, and that's because I didn't have that father figure. I didn't have anyone to show me how I'm supposed to be treated. I didn't have that love. I didn't have that support. My dad abandoned me when I was 6 years old. That was the last time I saw my daddy on my birthday. And I think that kind of like broke the ice. Um, and that's why I was going down the wrong path, because I was searching for love, and that's what we do as young girls. We search for love, and because we really don't know what love is, because we weren't taught how we were supposed to be loved. But that led me to the streets. That led me to doing things I didn't have no business doing in the streets with grown men, hanging with grown people, grown women. I'm just out there. And that's what daddy issues would lead you down the wrong path and in the wrong circle with wrong people, because you don't have that relationship with the father. You don't have someone that can structure you. You don't have someone that can be, you know, can be available to you in your need, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And what I've learned that even if the father is there physically, you can still be considered a fatherless daughter, because if he wasn't there emotionally or spiritually or mentally, you're still considered a fatherless daughter. That's what I've learned. Just with people that I've talked to, just listen to people, women that I have coached and talked to, they didn't feel like that they had that issues. Even my sister on my dad's side, she told me the same thing. Well, hey, he may have been there physically, but he wasn't there mentally and emotionally. So I still have issues, in which she do. She admit I do have issues because I still need him in some areas, but he wasn't there. So she tried to make me feel as though I wasn't alone, but in the instant I was alone, because at that time, like, we want that physical touch. We want to see the physical presence, right? Not about mentally, emotionally. And maybe it was good that he wasn't there, but in my eyes, that's all I wanted was my dad. As a little girl, I always wanted to be daddy's little girl. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? 9 times out of 10, there you will find a little girl who wants to be daddy's little girl. Rather, if you his oldest or his youngest, you still want to be daddy's little girl. That was me. I was that little girl that wanted to be daddy's little girl. I wanted to sit on his lap. I wanted to spend time with him. I wanted him to, come to my birthday parties. I wanted to, visit him and do things like that. I didn't have all of that. So daddy issues, it goes a very long way. But if you have daughters, you have to really pay attention to the signs, because they're there. If you don't catch them early on, then they're gonna go out and they're gonna look for love in other people, in other
Yeah.
places and other things, and so forth and so forth. And I've also learned, as I did more study and research and talking to people, I've learned that women who is highly educated, they have daddy issues. That's why they so focused on getting the highest degree ever, because they're trying to prove, they're still trying to prove a point to daddy, even though he's never been there. They're still trying to prove a point to him to say, hey, look what you missed out on. Look what I did for myself. I bought me a house. I got some kids. I'm married. I'm this. I got the finest clothes and the finest cars, because it's still trying to prove a point to daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Can you hear me now?
She
Oh,
can't hear
Lord.
you. She
This is crazy. Well, ask her to
I can't hear you.
provide. You can hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, thank God. 'Cause I was like, this is
no, no,
so
she can't hear you, Roberta. She can't.
No, I can't.
okay. All right. Well, if you could just ask her um some of the things that a person can do to get help with that, with having daddy issues.
What are some of the things that a person could do to get help that are experiencing daddy issues?
Um, hey, y'all can come to me. That's my expertise. I can coach you through, because I have the experience. I can say that. And I'm here to help you build that self-esteem. I'm here to help you to heal from the daddy issues. I'm here to help you to get to the purpose that God has for you. That's my thing. I'm a coach. That's what I do. But I will also say, get counseling, get therapy. Therapy is so important. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I did not get therapy, because therapy helped me a lot. It helped me to find myself as an individual. It helped me to see myself in a light that I never saw myself before, because my identity was in my dad. That's what my identity was, and I was grounded in it. But now that I've healed through all of those things, I know who I am. I know my worth. I don't have to settle no more. I love myself, and that's another thing. You want to love yourself. When you love yourself, you won't settle for anything less than, and you don't have to.
Okay.
Um, and then take yourself out on dates. And then, yeah, set boundaries. And when you set those boundaries, stick to those boundaries. I had to learn to stick to my boundaries, because I was such a people pleaser. And that's another thing about a woman without a father that deals with daddy issues. We become a people pleaser, because why? We want people to love us. Because, again, we're still looking for that love. We still want that attention that we did not get from our dad. So anybody that give us attention, we're going to take it. So love yourself. Take time out for yourself. Heal. Get therapy. Come to me. Um, Start reading books too. Read books to to stimulate your mind to something more positive um, and just to keep your mind going and stay on something positive. And I'm just telling you some things that I did. Everybody has their own way of how they work through their data issues, but for me, these are some things that I did. Um, I meditated. When I tell you I meditated. Um, Exercise, like if you do things to keep your mind going, to keep your mind, your motor running on something positive. And then also the last thing I do want to say this, because this really helped me to kind of break the ice. The first thing that I did before I even built my coaching course on data issues, the first thing I did was I wrote a letter to my dad, and that was heartbreaking because I had to say some things that I didn't want to say, and I'm trying to hold my composure together because I'm going back and remembering that particular day. I was sitting at my desk, and I remember my therapist told me to write this letter. She said, "Write a letter to your dad," and I was like, "You know what? I'm good. No, I'm not going to do that." And I was like, "For what? He's gone. He's dead. Like I'm never going to be able to read it to him. He's not going to be able to read it." Um, so what was the purpose? And I remember God told me to write the letter one particular night as I was building my course, and I began to start writing. And as I was writing, even when I said "Dear Dad," I erased it because he was not my dad. I called him by his name, "Dear Robert," because it's who you were to me. Um, and then I went from there. And as I was writing, I just remember tears were just falling down my eyes to where I kept balling up the paper. And I kept saying, "This is so hard. This is so hard. How do you write a letter to a man that's never going to read it? How do you write a letter to a man who I can't even read it to, who don't even really care?" That's what I'm thinking. So it was hard, but I wrote it. And I remember I waited for some time. And I remember my sister called me, and it was my dad's birthday. I didn't even know his birthday was in April. And she was like, I'm going to go visit dad's grave. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I took the letter to read the letter to him at his grave.
And how did that go? How did you feel afterwards?
How did you feel after that?
Um, After the fact, I felt good. I felt relief um, because I got those words off my chest. Some words not good. I wasn't very pleasant because I was angry. I was hurt. I was heartbroken because not only did I didn't get a chance to be, you didn't get a chance to be in my life, but then now you're gone. That's even more heartbreaking. You're gone, and I can't even see you face to face for the last time. I can't even tell you how you hurt me. I can't even get answers because now you're gone. So I was more hurt, but I felt better afterwards, and I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
crying because of course I'm tears of joy, and then also some tears of sadness because that hurt. Like I'm honest, if I'm hurting, you gonna know
Yeah.
I'm hurting
Yeah.
in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm not healed, because I'm healed, by the grace of God.
Well, you're human too, so that means a lot. Um, thank her for her transparency.
She's thanking you for your transparency, and she said that you're human also. So
Thank you. You're welcome.
Right. We're allowed to have feelings. And also let her know that due to all of these technical difficulties, we will be having her back on. Uh, and let our audience know that we will have her back on the second week of next month. If
she
her
just want you to know that you would. She do want you to come back on. You know, we've been having because of the you can't hear her. She just wants the audience to know that we'll have you back on again.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah. And then if she could let the audience know how to reach her again.
She wants you to let the audience know how to reach you again.
You can follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, Catherine B. Mitchell. You can also go to my website at www.catherinebmitchell.com. If you want to purchase one of my books, you can also DM me to get a signature copy. Now, you can go to Amazon and purchase the book, but it won't be a signature copy. So, if you want to get a signature copy, then you can just DM me, and then I'll send you the payee link so that you can pay, and then I will be more than happy to meet you in person. If you're in Dallas, like I don't mind, us meeting up in a place and me just delivering the book to you. But if you're not local, then of course I don't mind signing my signature and mailing that out to you.
One thing we
Uh,
want you to do also is that if you can drop your links and DM them, if you can't drop them in the chat right now, I don't know if you are able to, if you can send those to Roberta, and then we could at least drop them also in the chat to tie it to this live for tonight.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll send it to her.
okay. I also ask her any upcoming events.
Do you have any upcoming events?
I do. June 6th, I will be speaking at the WIN conference. It's held in Irving, Texas. It is a free conference for the general admission, but they do have VIP pricing. So if you want to come and hear me speak, you're more than welcome, especially if it's free. It's free. But if you want to get VIP, you can definitely do that. Just a little upgrade. And then in August, I will be in Houston. I will be in a fashion show. It's a domestic violence fashion show that I'll be walking the runway. And as you walk on the runway, the host of that event they will be reading your story. So you won't be actually speaking, but they will be reading your story as you walking down the runway. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing.
And then I'm also in the movie. It's called Hood Times. It's a movie, so I am a character in that movie. Character Diane.
Wow.
Okay. Tell her we look forward to it all, and we're hoping that she does have time next month on the second Tuesday of the month to rejoin us again.
We are looking forward to everything that you share with us tonight, and we hope that on the second Tuesday of next month that you are free, that you can come back and you can join us again.
I'll be more than happy to. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank the audience as well. And good night.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand.